All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to the Admitted Undergraduate International Student Next Steps webinar. My name is Hannah Gurman. I am the Assistant Director for International Admissions at the University of Cincinnati. And congratulations. We are so excited that you have been admitted. We know that it is a long and stressful process to start applying to colleges, especially when you are doing that in a completely different country. So you have made it through that part. You have been admitted, you've made the deadlines, and now it's just the next steps that we will help you through as well. So we are very proud of you for getting this far. So today we're going to go over a few different things that are going to be really important for those next steps. First, we're going to introduce our International Student Ambassador, Temurbek. He was also a student orientation leader, or what we call SOL for short, and he'll talk about both of those roles. And then we're going to walk you through the Bearcat Portal, and this is going to be your lifeline as a student before you come to UC for this fall. We're also going to walk you through the iBearcatsGlobal portal, and this will be important for your steps for your visa processes for receiving your I-20 and all of your immigration documents. And lastly, we'll talk about costs, and we will have time at the end for a question and answer session as well. So now I'm going to pass it on to Temurbek to introduce himself.
Hey guys, my name is Temurbek. I'm a second year studying international affairs here at the University of Cincinnati. I've been in the United States for 2 years now. I moved here for college, and it's been an incredible experience for me so far. This is the first time I moved out of my country and been in a foreign country, so I never left my home country before going to college. And here you can see some of my pictures, and hopefully they will help you to get to know me better. So we'll start from the picture on the right with the flag in there. That's the flag of my country, Uzbekistan. It's located in Central Asia. Not a lot of people know about it. And here in this picture, I had a chance to make a presentation about my country to some UC students, and it was a really fun session. I enjoyed talking about my culture and our traditions, and we had some Uzbek food. Hopefully, I will get to do it sometime in the future again. The picture in the middle is, you can see behind me in the picture, is the tall buildings. It's downtown Cincinnati. And I love going there whenever I have free time because downtown Cincinnati has a lot of things to offer you for fun. And there are a lot of different things going on almost every week, different festivals. So I recommend checking that out once you're here in Cincinnati. And the last picture on the left, a lot of people in the red t-shirts. Those are student orientation leaders in short SOLs. And I was fortunate to be one of them last summer. And I worked as a student orientation leader the whole summer last year. Definitely one of the best experiences I've had in UC so far. And you can see me in that picture. I'm on the right somewhere in the middle. And in general, if you're looking for student orientation leaders, once you come into campus during your orientation day, those are going to be the people who are wearing those t-shirts and have a name tag.
Perfect. And I think this is a great time for you to talk about your role as a student orientation leader.
Of course. So what's a student orientation leader? We'll be referring to them as a SOL. And here you can see that all of the responsibilities SOLs have in their job. And first and foremost, and the most important responsibility is to welcoming you all and your family members to UC. So our job is to connect with you, to be in touch with you all the time, from the moment you get accepted until the moment you go to your first class and get adjusted to campus. And most of you have already received probably an email with your assigned SOL. This year, they recruited around 30 SOLs for the upcoming summer, and they're doing an incredible job so far. I met like a few of them earlier this day actually, and they're enjoying their experience. Unfortunately, you can do it only once. I would do it again if I had the chance to, but in general, they're there to help you with anything, any questions you have about UC, and they will be the ones who will welcome you to campus, who will show you around in your orientation day. We have something called Bearcats Bound Orientation Day, and they will be there for you to show you around campus, to help you to get to meet the other first year students, and help you to get adjusted to campus throughout your journey while you get here to campus safe and sound.
Perfect. Thank you, Temurbek. So yeah, I think it's really, really important, as Temurbek said, to get connected with your student orientation leader if you have not done so already. They're there for you when you come to campus to support you through all of this process, but before you come to campus as well. If you have any questions at all, they're happy to connect with you. Okay, so we're going to go on to something really important called the Bearcat Portal. This will be your student portal where you are going to log in and make sure that you are ready to come for this fall semester starting in August. In order to access this portal, you will log in with your UC username. It's sometimes called the 6+2. And so this is often your last name followed by your initials for your first and middle name. And then you'll also have to put in your password. The first time that you log in, you will be given a default password. You can see down at the bottom where it will be your month of your birth date, your day, followed by the 4-digit year. So this will be your default password, and you will be prompted to change this password the first time that you log in. If you do not change it, after 6 times, you will get locked out. So it's really important that you do change that to your permanent password. So again, this is your Bearcat portal. You will get information for how to log in, your 6+2 and your temporary password. If you've already done this, that's great. If you have not done this yet so far, make sure you do this as soon as you can. You will also get instructions once you confirm your admission in order to set up your UC student email. This will take about 10 days for this to be prepared and get to sent to you in an email with instructions on how to do so. So please just be a little bit patient on our end. But you will go to mail.uc.edu. You'll log in with that email email address provided for you. And this is going to be really important for you to check. A lot of your information is going to be starting to send to this UC student email. So housing information, orientation information, international service information, registration information. So as soon as this gets set up, please check it frequently, as this is where your emails and communications will start to go to this rather than your personal email. What you'll also need to do is download this app. This is called Duo Mobile, and you can just download this right on your phone. And this is just another security setting to make sure that you are logging in safely and that it is you when you log into these different portals that you're getting into, like the immigration portal and the student portal. So you'll verify that it's you the first time, and then you'll go ahead and every time that you log into one of these UC portals, you'll get this ping on your phone that will ask and verify again if you are logging in from that specific computer at that specific time. So this is all students, faculty, and staff use this. It's really easy to use. Just make sure you do this or you can't log in. Okay, and so this is that Bearcat portal that we were talking about. So it will look something similar to this. When you first log in, at the left, you'll see your UC ID, which is also known as your M number. So it will start with an M, and then it will have a specific set of numbers afterwards. It will say which college you have been admitted to and which major or subplan you are focusing on. And you can upload your picture here as well. And it has some other biographical and general information. If any of this information is incorrect, please do email the orientation office to have any of that corrected by them. And you can see their email will be listed on the Bearcat portal as well for you to contact them. And so if you have not done this already, or if you have, that's wonderful, but you will need to confirm your admission to UC. So there is a $100 confirmation fee, and this basically holds your spot for the University of Cincinnati. It says, yes, I want to be a Bearcat for either this summer or this fall. Please save my spot as a student. So that's all that is. And then once you do that, it will start to unlock all of these next steps for you on the back end, which will take a little bit, a few days. So once you confirm, then you'll be prompted to do a few other things that we're going to be talking about. So again, this is that Bearcat portal, and these are the new steps that you see after you confirm. So a few things I do want to point out as well. So you would see on the right, there's a section that says important dates. You will see where there's a confirmation deadline. So when you need to confirm your admission to UC by, that also means your scholarship as well. When you need to apply by housing at the latest, when your tuition bill will be available, when your tuition bill will be due, and when the first day of classes is. My apologies, this is a screenshot from last year, so these are 2022 dates, but it should be fairly similar when you log in for 2023 as well. So the confirmation date is still the same, that's May 1st that you need to confirm by, and the housing application deadline is still the same as well, that's May 3rd. The first day of classes is just different, it's Monday, August 21st. And that tuition bill becomes available about 1 month before you start classes, and it's due about 1 week before you do start classes as well. And then if you go to the bottom, you'll see something that says support. It will say student orientation leader. This is what Temurbek was talking about earlier. You will see who your designated student orientation leader is, or your SOL, and you will be able to contact them through your Bearcat portal here. And then in the main section, you'll see virtual advising prep session, pre-enrollment questionnaire, in-person Bearcats bound orientation, and apply for housing. So we're going to talk about each of those 4 steps next. So the first one we're going to talk about is that you must register for a virtual advising prep session. We call it VAPS for short sometimes. And this is basically where you're going to meet with an academic advisor. So I'm going to let Temurbek talk a little bit about what he did during his virtual advising prep session.
Yeah, so the virtual advising prep sessions are designated for specific college students. So if you're in College of Arts and Sciences, you will be enrolled in a virtual advising session with the students in that college only, and you'll get a chance to meet your academic advisors and talk to them about any questions you might have academic-wise, like transferring credits or registering for classes or anything else, or changing majors if you changed your mind and wanted to do some other major after you've been accepted. That's where you're going to get your answers, and they will explain you how your next 4 years are going to look like, how many credits you'll have to take, and what classes you'll have to take to fulfill all the requirements.
Great. So it's really important that you register for that virtual advising prep session on or before that deadline that they have there, because that's how you're going to get started with all of those next steps for working with your advisor and for registering actually for those classes. And again, if you're also in exploratory, you'll have a separate academic advisor for exploratory as well. So the pre-enrollment questionnaire is also something that your academic advisor is going to kind of look at when helping build your schedule. Temurbek, can you talk a little bit about the pre-enrollment questionnaire?
Yeah, the pre-enrollment questionnaire is actually a really quick form that you have to fill out. It doesn't take that long. It's in general about what you want to achieve during your time in UC, and questions that will help your academic advisor to get to know you a little better before they meet you one-on-one, and just to make some notes what kind of like resources they have to prepare for your one-on-one session and help you to get to register for classes.
Perfect. Thank you. So definitely make sure you're doing both of those, the virtual advising prep session registration, as well as the pre-enrollment questionnaire. It's really just for your own benefit and to help your advisor really get to be able to support you the best they can. We talked a little bit about the Bearcats bound orientation. So this is an in-person orientation that you're going to need to register for. So for international students, it'll happen the week before your classes start. So Temurbek, I'll let you talk a little bit about that orientation as well.
Yeah, the Bearcat bound orientation is what I mentioned earlier. It's a day-long event, so you have to register to it beforehand. Usually for international students, it's a week right before classes start because that's when most of the international students start to arrive on campus. But the orientation itself goes throughout the whole summer, starting from June to the middle of August. And it's a day when you get a tour off campus, you get to meet other first-year students. And if you have any relatives or parents coming with you, they have a chance to join you and they will get their own tour and their own activities. You get activities with your first-year students and you get a free lunch. And student orientation leaders will be showing you around campus. You get to do team activities with your fellow Bearcats, and it's just an amazing day. And you also get free tote bags with a lot of fun stuff in it. We love fun and free stuff in UC, so that's worth to mention. And you end the day with different info sessions, so all the resources on campus will be coming in one building, and they will have their own sessions in different rooms, and you'll get a chance to attend whichever session you feel like attending.
Perfect. So it's really fun. Like Temurbek said, you get to meet a lot of people that you may be friends with for the next 4 or 5 years, but you're also getting a lot of important information like tours of the campus and meeting with people who you really need to meet with to take care of important things as you are a UC student now. So please do register, even if it says, you know, it's a different date, please still register and they'll send you information with regards to the specific international student Bearcats bound orientation. If you're not sure when you will be able to arrive due to visa or a flight, just go ahead and register, it's okay. And then if you need to change anything or if anything comes up, please just let us know and we'll work with you. But please just go ahead and register to get started. And then applying for housing. So this is going to be really, really important for you to do as well. So as I mentioned, the housing application deadline is going to be May 3rd. If you have already confirmed your admission, that's something different, that's holding your spot as a UC student, then you'll be able to do all of these next steps, and one of them will be to apply for that housing. There is another $75 housing fee, and that's just going to, again, save your spot for UC housing. It's basically a housing confirmation fee as well. So it's non-refundable. It just guarantees you a housing spot on UC's campus. And I really recommend that the sooner that you apply for housing, the better. Housing applications are open now. So if UC is one of your top choices, it's better to go ahead and get that application in to pay the $75 fee so you can get a selection of what housing is available, because it will fill up very, very quickly. UC does have 16 different dorms. We have apartment style, suite style, and traditional style. And so there's lots of different places for students to live. And if you want to have more of a priority of where you're living, definitely filling that application out sooner is always better. You'll also included in your, we'll go over expenses in a little bit, but included in your living expenses will also be your all access meal plan. So you'll have access to unlimited food at any of the UC dining halls. They are doing a wonderful job making sure there is a lot of variety in the meals. They're really good. They have a lot of healthy options. They cater to different dietary restrictions. And it is unlimited. So you can go as many times as you want, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about cooking at all. So both of those costs will be together in that living expense. And I do want to mention as well that it is required for all first-year students who are not living within a 50-mile radius or about 80-kilometer radius of the city of Cincinnati are required to live on campus in student housing for the first year. So this will be a requirement. And then after that, if you want to, live off campus, you want to get an apartment with friends, that's definitely an option for you to do so. And we definitely will consider as well, if you have family living in the city of Cincinnati, you can apply to live with your family as well, rather than in the dorm. So Temurbek, maybe you could talk a little bit about any of the housing or the food options that you've experienced as a UC student.
Yeah, so during my first year, I lived in university housing. However, my apartment that I lived on, it wasn't located specifically on campus. It was like 5 minutes away from campus, but it still was leased through university housing. So there are different options that you can live in. So, and the types of dormitories, the housing options vary from traditional style to apartment style. So I lived in apartment style and I had a good experience. I lived with my friends who came with me from my country. So if you have some friends coming with you from the same place, you can arrange a group and submit it to housing portal and you get a place to live together in one like room or apartment or bedroom. That's how you can do it. Or if you're willing to meet new friends, make some new roommates, you can just submit an application and they will give you different options and you choose from whichever option looks the best for you. All the housing options are listed on the website of Office of Housing, so you can check out the videos, which one look better and which one you like better. For eating options, so dining halls, and there are plenty of them on campus as well. And as a first year student, you're required to have a meal plan, and that meal plan will allow you the first years to get all access meal plan, which means unlimited swipes any day you want to go into any dining hall. So that's very incredible because you don't have to cook and food is there for you anytime you want to eat when you're on campus. And with that unlimited swipes, you also get 15 guest swipes. That's important to remember if you're making new friends or if you have any friends on campus who doesn't have a meal plan, you can let them into dining halls just using one of the meal guest swipes you have. And in addition, you get Bearcat dollars on your card each semester for your first year, and you can use them in bookstore or any stores around campus, like Target or Kroger, to do some grocery shopping, or go to some restaurants around campus, and they accept Bearcat dollars as well.
Excellent, thank you, Temurbek. Okay, I'm going to go and explain too. I'll share all of this with you in the chat when the presentation is over, but I do recommend if you are trying to apply for housing and you're not sure exactly how to do it, our university housing website has really helpful video tutorials on how to actually run through the housing portal itself. And it will even give you instructions for how Temurbek was mentioning before, is if you want to apply for housing in a roommate group, so you know who you want to live with already. So you want to apply it for housing together. And if you don't, like Temurbek said, it's completely fine. You can come in and you'll meet lots of new people and you'll make lots of new friends. And there is a housing questionnaire as well to kind of gauge compatibility with those new roommates. And I do want to mention as well that if you are not living in housing for the first year, if you live with family and even in your second year, if you're not living on UC housing, you still have that option to have the UC meal plan if you want to. If you don't want to cook at all for yourself while you're a UC student, that's an option as well. So just a couple important deadlines that I want to remind you of. So our confirmation fee deadline for confirmation for admission, but also accepting scholarship is going to be May 1st. This is the latest that you can confirm and pay that $100 confirmation fee. Now, I definitely recommend you doing it before this date if you know that UC is where you want to be, if you want to be a UC Bearcat, because once you start doing that confirmation, like we showed you, you'll start already having access to things that you can take care of, like talking with your academic advisor and things like that, and getting ready for your visa as well. The housing application deadline is May 3rd. Again, this is the latest that must be done with that $75 application fee. And again, I really recommend doing it before this deadline, as soon as you know that you want to be a UC Bearcat, because those housing options will start to get a lot smaller and more limited the longer that you wait. Tuition will be available in the summer, about a month before classes start again. So the deadline to pay will be August 16th, and the first day of classes will be August 21st. So if you want to come about that 1 week before that first day of classes, that's probably the most ideal. That way you have time to go to that orientation and really get to get adjusted before your classes start. So now we're going to go ahead and go on to the next portal that you'll need to use. And this is called the iBearcats Global Services Portal. And this is where you will take care of your immigration documents. So there are two separate portals, and this is specifically for international students. You will receive instructions for how to do this. They will be sent to your email, so it's very important to check your emails. And you will need to log into this iBearcats Global Services login page using the new student or scholar login down at the bottom. You will see it highlighted on my screen in yellow and circled in red here so that you can know what you need to click on. It won't obviously have that highlight and red circle when you're logging in, but we just wanted to emphasize that because there is also a separate login, as you can see up a little bit further in blue, it says login. This is, however, only for current students, faculty, or staff. So you cannot use this yet since you are a new student. You need to use the new student scholar login down at the bottom for the first time. And when you are logging in, you are going to put in your UC ID number, which is that M number that we talked about. You're going to put in your date of birth for the US birth date system. So that will be your month, day, followed by the year. And then you will put in your limited access PIN, and you will have to reset that PIN as well. Once you get into the iBearcats Global Services portal, you will see requests, again, which is highlighted down at the bottom in yellow right now, circled in red. And this is the new international student checklist for UC main campus. All international students must complete this, as this is your immigration documents. Now, once you start submitting documents and once things start being approved, up at the top where it says notifications, you will see documentation of what has been received and what has been approved. So it's a good way to keep track of everything that has been submitted and has been approved. So you will need to do this in order to arrive to campus. And once you come to campus, you will also have to do a required check-in as well. So this is all international students, again, are going to have to do this. And failure to do this would be a violation of F1 or J1 immigration status. So what you're going to do is you're going to, once you click on that new international student checklist for UC main campus, you're going to have to submit financial documents that demonstrate that you have the financial means to come to the University of Cincinnati for the total cost that I will show you in a few slides. So that can be bank statements and different things like that, and those will get submitted directly here. And then that will be reviewed by our UC International Services team. They will ask you if you have any UC scholarships, if you have any outside sponsorships. This will all be included here. Once this is reviewed and approved, then they will go through and work on submitting your next I-20 or DS 2019. And even if you are not coming on either an I-20 or a DS 2019, if you don't need either of those, you still have to submit these documents for our review. And once you come to campus, like I said, you will have to check in as well in this same portal. And so it's checking to make sure you have arrived in the United States and you have also completed mandatory health screenings, and you also have the option to pick up a free SIM card at the UC International Services office. And if you're here, you'll get instructions on where all of those places are located. So I'm going to talk now about the costs, the tuition, living, and health insurance costs. So there are different costs for different campuses. Main campus is our largest campus, also known as Uptown Campus. We have smaller regional campuses called Blue Ash Campus and Claremont Campus. And then we have our Accelerated College English program, also known as ACE. And each program or campus is divided into tuition and fees, living expenses, health insurance, and the total that you will need to provide to either show that you are getting that I-20 or DS 2019. So that is the amount that they will need to see, that UC International Services will need to see when they are approving your financial documents. So for main campus, I'll just do that one as an example. So tuition and fees would be $30,010, and that is going to, of course, be your tuition for your academic semester. I'm sorry, for the academic year. Living expenses is $17,999. Living expenses is going to include your dorm and also your all access meal plan that we had talked about. So you're eating on campus. So this living expenses includes your food as well as your dorm. It's both combined. And then your health insurance is also required. It is $2,449, putting the total for main campus at $50,458 for that I-20 or DS 2019. You do also have the option to, you don't have to pay this all at once, but you do have to show that you have the funds to pay it all at once. You will pay per semester. You also have the option of breaking those semester payments down into smaller payments. I believe it's 3 per semester, but you would have to register for that. You would have to contact the bursar's office specifically if you would want to break those payments up into even smaller payments. And there is a small fee as well for breaking that up. I think it's about $35 or so to do that as well. If you also receive any scholarship from the University of Cincinnati directly, so you received maybe our global scholarship, that can be deducted from the total costs from your I-20 or your DS 2019. However, if you're receiving outside funding that might not necessarily come off on the funds, it will just all go on that iBearcatsGlobal portal that we had discussed. And of course, we are here to support you with any questions that you have along the way. So you have already met Temurbek from Uzbekistan. We also have one other incredible international student ambassador. Her name is Lily Lee. She is from Vietnam, and she is studying business analytics in the College of Business. And you can see the ambassador email right there. If you want to email them, you can see our WhatsApp phone number, and you can also schedule a virtual call with them on that website. So they're happy to talk with you if you want to do a one-on-one call about anything about their majors, about life on campus. They're there for you to support you in any way that they can. These are also very important contact information for you to have. So this is first the International Admissions Office. This is our office here. We help students, undergraduate students specifically, with their application to the University of Cincinnati. So if you have any questions about if your application is waiting for a decision still, or if you are waiting for a scholarship information from us, you can reach out to your admissions advisor directly, or you can email international.admissions@uc.edu. Now, all of the other immigration documents, as I mentioned, will be handled by our International Services Office, and they can be reached at international.services@uc.edu. So when you are submitting all of those financial documents for your I-20 or DS 2019, if you have any questions about what is acceptable, or if there are any issues with what they have found with your documents, they will be the ones contacting you regarding that specifically. We also have our orientation office and our housing office. So you have that contact information as well. And lastly, we have enrollment services. So this is great if you want to take this information down as well. If you have any questions about enrollment or billing, they're happy to assist you with those questions as well.